Hello and welcome back to the channel, How We Move the Decimal. In today's video, I am photographing vintage slides to sell on eBay. What I used to photograph these slides is a tracing board I got on Amazon for $14, nothing special, and I diffused the light with a piece of printer paper because I am very classy that way. You can use tissue paper too. I've used that. I just found it like crinkled up on me and would move around a lot more than the printer paper, because the printer paper is slightly heavier and slicker than the tissue paper, if that makes sense. But you could use tissue paper to also diffuse the light if you wanted to. I could also, be a professional and buy something that way, but this is working for me, so that's great. These are actually not that vintage. These slides I'm doing right now, they are from the 90s. And I do believe they're Alaska. The estate that I got these slides from traveled all over the place. They loved Arizona, specifically Tucson, for some like huge rodeo thing. They would go there. We have multiple years of the Tucson rodeo. They went to Alaska many, many times. And they went to Hawaii twice. So they were very well traveled. I'm kind of jealous that they got to go so many places. And a lot of the places they went were unrestricted, where now we have a lot of tourist restrictions because this is why we can't have nice things. We just keep renting things. And because of that, we don't have access as they used to. They have access, they have pictures of themselves touching Stonehenge and stuff, and there's no way we can't do that anymore. Plus the big trees and the big sequoia trees, or not sequoia trees, the really big trees that you could like drive through and stuff. The one that you could drive your car through that we lost recently. So all of those things, it's kind of very cool to go back and look at that, and especially when I scan them in digitally. And I scan them in digitally for two reasons. One, I want to get a better idea of what's on the picture, because I've had things show up that I didn't catch when I was doing it this way, but when I scanned them in digitally, I found that they were completely inappropriate to sell, or they might have been too personal to sell. I don't like to sell things that are very personal. Recently, I ran across ones where they were at a funeral, and there are a lot of pictures of like the body in the casket, and I don't want to sell something like that. That feels like an invasion to me. So I pulled those out because I didn't want to sell that. So in today's video, I want to actually talk about selling for others. And this has come up a couple times consignment wise, and those of you that do resale a lot may actually have had this come up with you too, where people know you resell. I don't hide it. I'm not like, oh my God, it's a store person, I can't believe you're selling this for so cheap, I'm going to make so much money on it on eBay. And I'm not like running around doing that, but I'm also, if someone asks, I will say I resell. They know, like, the post office knows I resell. My family members know I resell. People that talk to my family members know I resell. Casual acquaintances know I resell. People will give you things, and I'm more than cool to take your crap. Like, you have stuff you need to get rid of, I will give it to you. That is great. And with this also, people will ask you to sell things for them, and this is kind of where I pump the brakes. I don't like to sell things for people. Now, if I know I can get value out of it, and if I know it has value to it, I will offer to buy outright from the person, but I don't like to consign or sell for somebody, because so much other stuff goes into reselling than just, hey, it sold for $28, here's $14 for you and $14 for me, because you have fees, you have your store fees, you have shipping supplies, you have the chance that that person's going to return your item. So all of this we need to be aware of, and that's a lot to factor in. So a lot of times if someone's like, hey, I really want to sell this online, I may offer to buy it from them, but I won't offer to sell it for them, because it could take a very long time to sell. So if it takes several years to sell, is that person going to wait several years for their consignment? No. A lot of times I will tell them just to list it on Facebook Marketplace. It'll sell faster, or to have a garage sale. It'll sell faster. But I just don't feel comfortable. And, I've done it for family members before where I've sold something and then because it's sold so high, I will give them a portion of it or will donate a portion back because it was given to us and it sold for a lot. I guess like a good example of this is my mother-in-law's church has rummage sales multiple times a year. And if we buy something at the rummage sale and we know it's going to go very high, we'll donate a portion back to the church because we paid way less than we should have for it. We also donate our old inventory to that church to sell too, and they can usually get better prices for it. Not eBay prices, but better than average garage sale prices because other pickers will come to that garage sale and look and be like, okay, I know this can sell on eBay, where we've been like, well, we've been trying to sell it for a couple of years and it hasn't sold. So we just want to churn it, get it out of our store. Or if we're like moving inventory or we don't want to list that type of item anymore, we'll donate it. Also, on the upside for that, they are a very small church, but a lot of community members do donate to them. And I'm usually able to go the night before and look and pick, and I will pay whatever ticket price they have. I will not try to juggle them down. I will not price gouge them. If they have it marked for that, I will pay it for that price because I know the value of it. And I know I'm getting a deal by going in there early. So if they have something priced for $5, I'm not going to offer them $3 for it. I will pay the $5 because they could possibly get the $5 for it the next day. Now, I've gone back at the end of the day and offered bulk for whatever's left, but I will pay full price if I get a preview. And I think that's just common courtesy. If you get a special like viewing or preview of something, to pay full price because they could sell it for full price the next day to somebody else. Now, that being said, I will say the past couple times that we've been at this rummage sale, I haven't found a lot to resell. My kids have found a lot. My son found a Game Boy Advance with games for $15, and it probably had 10 games with it, and that was a deal. Could I resell the Game Boy Advance? Probably. Is my son having more fun with it than what I could resell it for? Yeah. I'm trying to get out of that mindset where, like, if my kids get toys at presents, and as I open the toys, I'm going, okay, is that worth something? My daughters love the mini brand toys, the tiny little mini brands. My 5-year-old loves the mini brands toys specifically, and she unboxes them. So she'll open them out of the mini brands, and then if you don't know what mini brands are, they're tiny little versions of something. So she likes the toys. So they're tiny little versions of toys, but they also come in boxes. So it's like the toy in a package, and she unpackages them, and it drives my 10-year-old crazy because my 10-year-old is a collector and she wants everything pristine and in its condition. And my 5-year-old is like, an example, there was an Elsa doll, a mini brand's Elsa doll inside its little box, like you would sell it on the shelf. My 5-year-old ripped that apart to get this tiny little Elsa doll, and she's probably not even an inch tall. My 10-year-old was mortified that the 5-year-old damaged it, and now it's lost its worth. And I'm trying not to do that when my kids open toys. Like, my 5-year-old got an ultra rare in the mini brand, and I cringed a little, and she ripped it out of its box because I'm like, oh my God, that's probably worth something. They were opening Lego minifigures, and my 5-year-old opened a minifigure that is actually worth about $15 on eBay, selling consistently. And it's like, I can't rip it out of her hands. I'm like, oh my God, this actually sells for something more. Now, that being said, when she completely and totally loses interest in it, it may end up getting sold, but I'm trying very hard not to look at lost value when looking at things. We were just joking, my husband and I, we were listing over the weekend, and we just happened to find a box of stuff next to our fireplace downstairs in our storage area. and we thought it was listed, but it wasn't. And it was a bunch of Series 1 Zoom Zooms or Toom Zooms. They're the things that look like potatoes, but they're Disney characters. I had a bunch of Series 1 stuff I bought when our Kmart went out of sale or went out of business, and I didn't realize it. I thought they were listed, but they weren't. And they're actually worth more now that we completely forgot about them because they are Series 1s. So I guess it's a double-edged sword that way. But I don't feel comfortable selling for somebody else. I will buy inventory from other people, but I don't feel comfortable selling for other people. Now, just because I don't know when it's going to sell, I don't know how it's going to sell. What if I take an offer? What if, it's a promoted listing? What if they have a coupon? All of the above. So I don't like to do that. But I will buy from other people. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you like and subscribe, and please enjoy the digitals of Alaska from 1990.
Taking shots at the enemy. I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take the noose off. And you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots. You are not as tough as tracks and some music that you never guess. I don't slack, don't lose, learn your lesson yet. When I get to choose what I do, I'm like a weapon. I'm not sharp as many, but got hard. I'm ready to change scars to envy, to win large and plenty. I like to play fast, never change back. Calling out, I'll pay back, cause I'm great at that. Oh, you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots. You were not as tough though. Don't wanna